Hi there. Thanks for checking out our Fencer Fixer YouTube channel. Um, I wanted to do a little video here of an old Sears Electric Fencer model. It's a long old model number. It says 436.22032. Um, this is a kind of one of those old style weed burner types. Is that the little pulsate thing on the side there? And the way that this unit runs and operates is a little different than what the current styles of units that have been in the last 25, 35 years here in the States anyways. This is not a low impedance one. This is a kind of a long duration shock. When those lights are on, that's when the shock is on. So for however long those lights are on, that's how long the shock is going. So it's on for a good little bit. It's not a pulsing type. You can't really hear the thing going, but it makes a little humming sound every time the lights are on. But you can't use a regular electric fence tester to test it. I'm not sure. The only way I know really how to test them is just if it's hooked up to the fence and everything, if you got T-posts or something, take a screwdriver or a hammer or something, touch the wire, and then lean it over and get really darn close to the T-post on a spot where there's no paint. And you'll just get really, really close, like that close. And every time that light's on, you'll see a little spark, kind of buzz across there and like a long duration shock. This has two lights on the thing. It has the charge light and the fence light. When this is going, that means the charge should be coming out, and this should go on as well. If for some reason you have a pretty heavy load on it, you get too much grass on the fence, and it dogs down too hard, that light will go out, but this light will still flash. So that's like a fence, condition indicator, depending on how loaded down your fence is. But this thing will burn through some grass and some weeds and stuff. But you got to be a little bit careful with these as well, because they are when it gets really dry outside and really dry grass on there, with those long duration shock that these have, you have a chance of catching those things on fire. Not the energizer, but the weeds and everything that's on the fence. So that's why they don't make these anymore, because I don't think they really outlawed them. Maybe they did, but people got so leery of them over time. And when those solid state units and the low impedance stuff came around, these things just kind of went on the, out to the pasture. And, because they were safer to use and you could run a lot bigger fence with those newer style units. But this is how you can test it. Take a couple screwdrivers, or one long screwdriver. These ones aren't quite long enough to reach all the way across, but zoom in a little bit here. What you're going to do is you're going to take, now if you're out on the fence, you can do this, against the T-post, and take a screwdriver to a T-post, see it jump the gap. But if you're just curious how it's running, every time those lights are on, let me zoom out just a little bit. So we can get that light into the picture so you can see it. Alright, when that light's on, that's when the shock is going to jump. Gotta get this gap just right. Get it just right. Make sure you're touching both of them. Oops. I just had to get the gap right. It doesn't shoot a big spark like some of the newer things do. But man, would you like to get shocked by that? I don't think so. But that's how you can test one of these old style units. They had there's other styles like these, but they're older. They were a constant current one where they're always on. they had the same kind of shock as this one does, excuse me, but it's always on. Those were the ones that really caused a lot of brush fires back in the day. And that's when they went to this style later on to put that little delay in between, so it'd give it some breathing room and on the shock, and hopefully not cause many brush fires. But those constant current ones, they shoot the same kind of spark, and it'll be there for a long time until it finally dissipates energy and fades out. I've heard stories from in-laws that had the old style constant current ones back in the day. And, you know, I asked him, so, well, how did you ever get shocked by? He's like, oh yeah, I got shocked by a couple times. He said, once when I was a little kid, and once when I got a little bit older. I said, well, what happened? What kind of shock? He said, well, I don't remember when I was a little kid, but when I was a little bit older and I got shocked, he said, I started hollering and yelling. My dad come running, and he saw that I was hooked up to the electric fence, and I was getting shocked. And I was holding on to pull me off, and he's like, I ain't touching you because I'll get shocked too. He said, just give it a minute, it'll let you go, it'll let go of you. So, you know, it was just, you know, it holds you for, you know, it could be, you know, 10 seconds, 20, 30 seconds, I don't know. But it holds you, but if, you know, it holds you for a little bit and be longer than what you'd want to grab onto and hold onto on purpose. So it felt a lot longer than what probably what it was. But as soon as the thing would release all of its energy and, you know, cool down, you know, then it would let you go and you could, you know, walk away from the thing. But that's what was good about these. You know, it'd grab you for a second, then let you go. The low impedance solid state ones, you can't hold on to them things. Your body's natural reaction is to let go of it. Especially you get one of those bigger ones. And if you get a small one, you know, and you're not grounded real well or whatever, you could probably hold on to one of those a little longer, you know, a little more, few more pulses than you would could the big jewel ones. But yeah, that's just an old Sears Electric Fencer that we repaired for a customer. So, you know, hopefully this gives you some insight of how these things work and how they operate and how to test one. There's a lot of variations of models like this, not just Sears. There was Hold'em, there was, I don't know, Bulldozer, Blitzer way back in the day when they're their own brand. I mean, there's a lot of models out there that operate in this fashion, but you test them all the same way. Some of them had more than one or more than two bolts. Some had that's your hot terminal, that's your ground terminal. They had another terminal, I don't remember what it was. I think it was another, I think one was like, I don't know. Well, I think they're both hot, but it depends on your soil conditions and how things were going. You could change, you know, switch the wire to the other one to help it conduct a little bit better onto the fence. But if you ever need any help, you know, repairing one or understand how one works or whatever, just get a hold of us. We'd be happy to help you out. You can, you know, put a comment down below, and, you know, if you got any stories about, you know, old ones like these that you might have dealt with as a kid or whatever, you know, put it down there. I'd like to hear about it. You can like us on Facebook, which is just go to Facebook and type in Fencer Fixer, and Fencer is spelled like that, and then Fixer, F-I-X-E-R, and we got all kinds of videos and pictures and about the repairs that we do. There's also things about farm and agriculture things and livestock related, you know, stuff, and there's some quirky things we sometimes put on there that, you know, maybe someone get a laugh out of. But, you know, if you like the video, hit that, you know, thumbs up button. Subscribe to us if you like to, you know, would like to. But we appreciate you, you know, checking this video. Hopefully it can give you some information. And on that little note, we will see you later. Hopefully I don't get shocked.